Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here, back with another video. I thought quite recently, actually, I think it was probably a week or so ago, about how when I say it's your boy MKS, um, as a Celtic fan, we often call ourselves the boys for some reason. So I don't know how that quite started, to be honest. But I've been a fan for a short amount of time, so I think like a few years. But so I don't know all of the history, but I do find it quite interesting. But yeah, I thought I'd make this video about why I, as a Celtic fan, don't like Rangers, which are the rivals. Sometimes even when I spell their name, I like put an asterisk and like don't completely spell it properly, if you know what I mean. Like instead of putting Rangers Rangers, I put like or asterisk or whatever you call it, and then instead of an A or stuff like that. So, but anyway, I thought I'd spell it properly this time. But anyway, yeah. So I try and focus more on positive things or love. So I say I never want to hate anyone or anything, but there are things about Rangers. Them, so to speak, which I don't really like that much, and why I prefer Celtic. So I thought I'd talk about some of those sorts of things. So some of the things I think it's not going to be one of my videos where I make like a 30 point in this video, but it is going to be, to make it simpler, I'm going to list the ideas because otherwise I find it harder to like focus on what I'm trying to say. Anyway, some of the things I dislike about Rangers. One of them is that Rangers are quite an imperialistic side, so they like a pro-union, pro-British. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being pro-British or proud to be British or anything like that, but I think it is kind of like they sing songs like Rule Britannia and talking about the Empire and how they support the monarchy and the military and things like that. So I'm not a big fan of monarchism or militarism and that sort of thing. So there's a couple of things I dislike about Rangers. And I suppose I'm not. I won't say I'm like a complete anti. Obviously, I live in Britain, and I wouldn't say like I'm anti-unionist or something. I don't really have strong opinions about. I'm not even from Scotland, so I don't really have strong opinions of whether Scotland should or should not be independent. I think that's up to the people of Scotland. But and not living there myself, I think it would not be my. It wouldn't be fair for me to really say too much about that. I suppose I don't really know too much about that, but when they sing Rule Britannia or things like that, I think that's sort of like it's sort of celebrating taking over other people's countries and things like that. So I'm not a big fan of monarchism as well, because I think that like being forced to pay money towards a monarchy family, the monarchy itself is like kind of using force to make people pay for one family. And I suppose the argument could be that republics also force people to pay for the president or things like that. But I think if Britain became just, I'm not saying it should or shouldn't, because I think that's up to the people, but I think if Britain did become a republic, I don't think we should need to have a head of state or anything like that. I don't think it would make much difference. The point that they're ceremonial or whatever you call it, and not really supposed to make much influence in politics. I don't see why that makes much difference anyway. I don't know why we would need to have a head of state or anything like that. And if you had like a prime minister and something, heaven forbid, happened to prime minister, or they couldn't run the country for whatever reason, you could always have just deputy prime minister. Even if something happened to them, there's plenty of ministers to take their place. But yeah, so me personally, I'm a Republic supporter, but obviously that's a personal choice, and I try and respect other people's opinions or choices as much as possible. But I'll say, because I'm a Republic supporter, that's something I dislike about Rangers, like the support of the monarchy, the support of like imperialism, military and things like that, institutions which I personally don't agree with, and also like invading other people's countries, like supporting that, and sometimes even maybe demeaning other people's countries, or saying that Britain is better than other countries and things like that. So it's like imperialistic. And I also think, although I'm sure there are many decent Rangers fans, and as I said before, like not all Celtic fans are good, and again, like you get good or bad in both, as well as all fans, I'm sure. But I think that overall, I would like to think that Celtic have more decent fans, and when we go overseas, I'll say as a Celtic fan, I think if someone defined the difference between Celtic and Rangers, and they said that when Celtic go abroad, we want to have a good time and like get along with people, generally speaking. And again, there are some fans who are not so nice, but generally speaking, we want to get along with the other people, whereas Rangers want to like tear up cities, demean other people's cultures or countries, Some of their songs are probably arguably a bit racist, especially some of the things they sing about Catholics and the Irish, what I'd call religionist as well as racist. And like some of the things they sang about Nakamura, who's from Japan, saying that because he's from Japan, because he's from the Far East, they said they had signs saying Nakamura ate my dog. They even sang songs about it, which is like quite kind of disrespectful to all people from the Far East. That's why I think people from the Far East, as well as Asia generally, should support Celtic for various reasons like that. But yeah, I think Rangers probably have a lot more racist fans and imperialistic fans than Celtic as well. But again, like the military thing and the monarchist thing are things that I personally don't agree with. So I thought I'd talk about some of the reasons why, just for a bit of fun. I thought I'd talk about some of the reasons why as I say, I don't like to hate anyone or anything, and I'd rather focus on love. And I did make a few videos about reasons to support Celtic, and I'm not sure if I covered what I love about Celtic, but maybe in the future, in a week or two, maybe, or maybe even in a few days, I might do a video about why I love Celtic or reasons to love Celtic and focus more on the love. But I thought I'd do this video to talk about some of the things I dislike about our rivals, which obviously rivalry in football, you're going to talk about things you don't agree with. So the idea for this video came from when I saw something recently about people talking about what they hate about their rival fans, or at least what they dislike about the rival fans, or things like that. So I'll say I don't want to hate anyone or anything, but I talk about that. So that's why I'm talking about why I strongly dislike our rivals and things I disagree with about them. So anyway, I hope I don't get too much hate for this video, but I hope people out there will enjoy it, especially obviously Celtic fans. I imagine not many Rangers fans will enjoy it, but unless they use it to take the mick of me, that's part of the game, I suppose. That's part of being on YouTube, I suppose. Anyway, I am out. Peace and love.